freight efficiency with NACFE's Mike Roeth and friends.
Here at episode 100, we are flipping the script as my granddaughter Makenzie Roeth puts me on the hot seat. I talk about driving my first diesel truck at the age of 13 and my first time behind the wheel of an electric truck. Makenzie asked me about NACFE and my job as executive director and why I am so proud of the Run on Less series. I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who has been featured on this podcast so far. It's been a lot of fun. And special thanks to Makenzie for interviewing me for this landmark episode. Take it away, Makenzie.
Are you ready, Papa?
I don't know, Kenzie. I'm usually asking the questions, not answering them, but I think I'm ready.
I know you've interviewed 99 people for your podcast. How does it feel being the one answering the question?
It does feel really weird. I mean, for almost 3 years, every couple of weeks, I've been asking my friends questions. And not only are you a friend, but you're also family. So, yeah, this is going to be fun. I'm excited.
Grammy says you always start your podcast asking people how you became friends. So how did we become friends?
You and I became friends. It's easy. We became friends. I know exactly what day. It was August 2nd, 2014. That's when you were born. So I knew we would be friends. Our first grandchild, we'd be friends right away.
How did you decide to start a podcast? I don't really see you listening to many.
You're right. I don't listen to many podcasts. And actually, I still don't. But some people that were close to NACFE, some of the board members, some of the NACFE team thought it would be a good idea. And so we started it. And, it's been really fun that we named it Mike Roeth and Friends because it's easy, it's comfortable. I'm always talking to somebody I know. And it's not so hard. It takes less time than I thought. And it's really I should be talking to my friends more, even the ones that are in business.
What are some interesting things you learned from your podcast guests?
Well, I think the biggest thing that I've learned over the years is just how interesting people are. One guest, her father won the Nobel Prize in physics. That kind of was shocking when she said that while we were recording. Others just have really interesting lives, and they were able to come into trucking maybe because a friend of theirs or an uncle or a father drove a truck, or maybe they just got interested in it in school. So it's been fun and interesting finding out things from people I already know that I didn't know, and I think that helps understand them better, and it's been a lot of fun.
Do a lot of people listen to your podcast?
More people than I thought. So, getting ready for this one, Kenzie, we looked at the top 10 listens, which are the ones that were most popular, and yeah, people listen to them hundreds and hundreds of times. I think we're at like 18,000 downloads. So I think the first 90 podcasts, there's 18,000 downloads, and people even can listen to them without downloading. So I'm kind of shocked. That should make both of us a little more nervous right now. Do you think?
No.
Okay.
Has anybody ever wanted to be on your podcast, but they weren't a friend, but became your friend and later was on the podcast?
That's a great question. So oftentimes Denise will get a phone call. Can I be on Mike's podcast? And she'll ask, are you a friend? And they'll say, well, of course I am. I've met him and doing this and doing that and so forth. And occasionally, yes, someone calls and wants to be on, and Denise calls me and I say, no, we're not friends. And but a couple of times I've said, well, I'll talk to them. So I've talked to them, and then they become a friend, and then later on the podcast, one person, I won't mention who it is, but I remembered them from years ago, and I had kind of forgotten that we had been friends. So the podcast actually brought me, a friend back together. Yunsu Park, who was recently on, we worked very closely together 20 some years ago, and then we didn't talk for 10 years, and now he's been working with us at NACFE for 8 years. So sometimes friendships can be short, they can be long.
Then they can reconnect.
Yeah, they can reconnect. You can be a friend and lose track of one another for different reasons, and then reconnect. And I guess you were always friends in that case, right?
Yeah. How come you like trucks so much? You talk about them a lot. Did you play with toy trucks when you were a little boy?
I grew up on a farm, and so I did play with toy trucks. And Then went to school, became an engineer, and as I left college, started working for a company that worked on uh, agriculture combines and tractors and construction equipment like bulldozers and wheel loaders. And so trucks then, shortly after I started my job. So for now, over 30 years, I've been working, in trucking and on trucks. And so it's that's all been kind of exciting. I don't know if playing with trucks early meant I was going to do this my whole life, but I guess it doesn't hurt.
What was the first car or truck you drove, and what was the first electric truck?
Oh wow! So on the farm, we had a blue uh, ton pickup truck that had a flatbed on the back of it. It was Ford, and I was probably 13 when I was able to start driving it around the farm. You had to be 16 to get a driver's license, but that meant only on the road. And yeah, it was I was a little guy, and that was a big truck, Makenzie. So I was a little scared, but I helped take my dad and my brother to the fields, and that's the first truck I drove. My first electric truck, that's a good question. It probably would have been a small electric van around 2020. I remember we were getting ready for Run on Less Electric in 2021. And uh, in Run on Less Electric 2021, we were out meeting a lot of truckers that were driving electric trucks, and I got in and drove one then. It could have been earlier at a truck show or something, but I remember right away how wonderful they were. They were quiet, easy to drive, and the step heights were lower. And I expected to learn what we've learned now, and that truck drivers really love these electric trucks.
What did you do before this job?
Well, so NACFE's 15 years old, and before that, I worked at Cummins and Bear. With Cummins and Bear, the cooling system company out of Germany, I worked for them for like 12 years. And kind of a big thing in our life was we moved 15 hours from our parents. So Letty and I grew up only 3 or 4 miles apart near Piqua, Ohio. Went to Ohio State, didn't meet till college, but went to Ohio State, moved to Michigan. And then when Logan, our daughter, was 2 and the boys were 5 and 6, off we went to South Dakota, where I helped run a manufacturing plant. Big change for us, Kenzie. We were far away from family, far away, left friends, but we had a great time out there for 4 years, and then came back to Fort Wayne, Indiana, where we still live. But there we raised all the kids, went to middle school and high school, and Logan and Colin went to college, all here in Indiana, and that was with International Truck. So those are the jobs I had before NACFE. I remember I had a lot of jobs at those two companies, so it seemed like every year or two I was getting a different job. I joke with people that I couldn't do any of them very well, so they made me go do something else. But I think I must have done them pretty well. But it rounded out my career a lot because I was working for the same company but a lot of different jobs. I was in engineering and sales. I did purchasing for a while. I did strategy and manufacturing, ran that manufacturing plant, dealer work, all kinds of things that helped me understand the trucking industry a lot better, and then be prepared when NACFE came around, and that's been a lot of fun.
I see you on the phone a lot on Zoom meetings, but what do you really do? What is your job other than talking?
Yeah, that's a good question. I do a lot of talking. We're talking right now. Yeah, many of you that might listen to this knows my wife, and sometimes she'll say, are you talking a lot, or are you actually getting something done?" And I like to think we're getting something done, but it's important. I think you can talk a lot about things, and then stuff never changes unless you do something about it. And so I think. Does that make sense to you?
Kind of.
Yeah. So, but my work is working with everybody in the industry that's working on efficiency and decarbonizing, or getting to, trucks that don't pollute the air at all, whether it's, what they call NOx and particulate matter, or carbon itself, which all our emissions that affect the planet and help with global warming and make the air dirty to breathe. And so even though trucking's come a long way with diesel trucks, now it's wanting to really improve way past that to get to what we call zero emission trucks. And so yeah, I talk a lot, but I think it's helping other people act on things. And so at NACFE, we put together education and tools and workshops and answer questions and help the real people out there that are making a difference. Many of you listening, that's the people creating the products, buying the products, using them, driving the trucks, all around getting cleaner and better, more efficient, and even lower cost in moving the goods that everybody needs. One of the things that's influenced me is there's this thing called Gemba. It's a Japanese term, and it means go and see. And what it means is, around this talking and doing, just get out there, go see what's happening. Like you said, Kenzie, go drive an electric truck and experience it and understand it. So go and see and then do things. I guess maybe that's my advice.
Even as a 10-year-old, my friends and I know that climate is getting hotter. I asked my dad about your work. He says electric trucks are going to save the world, make it cooler. Is he right?
Yes, I think your dad's right. Your dad's a smart guy. I think that electric trucks are just one part of what will help us make for a better environment, lower the temperature in our climate. And the goals of a lot of us are to limit that warming to 1.5 degrees C. Many think that 2 degrees Celsius is what's going to happen almost no matter what. But the goal is to let it get a little hotter, or as it's getting hotter, because we have all of these problems that exist in the planet, and then do things like electric trucks, do things like use solar and wind to create our electricity, and that's called renewable electricity, instead of burning coal or burning natural gas in order to make that electricity.
What is the best thing that NACFE has done?
Yeah, so I love that question. I mean, NACFE, I'm very proud of NACFE and the team, all of the people that have contributed. We have about 12 or 13 people on the NACFE team right now, and we've had about 40 work with us over the 15 years. So my personal thanks to every one of those folks that have directly worked with for NACFE, and then everybody else out there that's helped us along the way. I'm really excited about it. We were started out of a Rocky Mountain Institute workshop back in 2009. And now that we're celebrating our 15th year, I went back and looked at some of the documentation for that. And there were 3 ideas that came about. And I don't remember exactly how they phrased the 3, but the first one was NACFE itself. I mean, some independent group looking at these technologies and evaluating them and helping the industry understand their benefits and their costs and their challenges. A second one was what became Run on Less. And I didn't realize that until recently when I went back to see that original documentation in April of 2009, that was one of the 3. The third one we won't talk about. That's something that NACFE is not gonna probably do. But it was very rewarding to see 2 of the 3 things that group came up with 15 years ago we're doing. So to answer your question, I think the best thing NACFE has done, it's a hard question, but the best thing was come up with this Run on Less series. We're going to do our 5th one next year, and it's just so much fun and so valuable to get out. And it's sort of that go and see Gemba I talked about earlier, where NACFE goes out and talks to drivers, talks to the truckers, talks to the fleets, the manufacturers, the utilities, all the people that are making something happen in trucking. And then we produce videos and dashboards and data and make Run on Less come alive for the month of September in the odd years. So the proudest thing I would say, one is the team we've created to do all this work, and the second is this Run on Less series. I'm quite proud of that.
You are gone a lot. I know I miss you and Grammy when you aren't here. What places do you go and what do you do?
All of you that know me that are listening, you know that I do travel. I like to get out. I like to shake hands, hug people, talk to them face to face, have meetings where we can just get a lot deeper than talking to you over the phone or doing a Zoom or Teams call. So I think this starts with why do we travel? First of all, it starts that that's just Mike Roeth. That's just me. I like to do it. I think it's important to the work we do to get out. Of course, I did a lot of travel for the first 20, 30 years of my career. And when our kids left and were out of the house, then Letty started traveling with me. And we've traveled all over together. We fly places, Costa Rica, England, all over the United States and Canada. We also then, in the middle of all that, decided to buy a camper. The first camper was 18 feet, would fit inside the living room of the camper we own now. So we got bigger ones, and now driving a Freightliner Jayco motorhome. Letty and I have really fallen in love with traveling. We meet new people. We chase good weather. So in the winter we try to go south, in the summer we try to go north. But I also think very seriously that being out with people at truck shows, at their fleet locations, at their manufacturing locations, at their corporate headquarters. That's just a much better way to do this job than sitting at home, particularly after COVID, where we kind of thought we were getting a lot done, and we were by doing things, in our home offices and so forth. But getting out and traveling is important. I think it's important for me, Letty and I, and the entire industry when we go do our work.
What's your favorite place to go when you travel?
So we like the Gulf Coast of Alabama and Florida. It's just a nice place to be in November, December, and January. There's some trucking there, and we've used that to our time there in the winter to meet with different trucking groups in that area. Uh, where we like to go in the summer is places where it's cooler, upstate New York. It's beautiful, the Finger Lakes area, and also up in Wisconsin. So, a lot of trucking's in the Midwest and so forth. So maybe in the winter and the summer, we're a little bit, trucks are everywhere, but in the winter and the summer, we might be a little farther away. But, really, we enjoy everywhere we go.
What kind of stuff do you learn when you're on these trips?
Some people say that or think that NACFE is just telling people things, but we're constantly listening. So, yeah, I learn a lot about how these things are really, how the trucks are really performing, different technologies, whether it's aerodynamics or tires, or now electric and hydrogen. I think you asked the question very well. It's what do you learn? And sometimes I heard a saying one time, it's what you learn when you say you know it all, or something like that. And I think what that means is that sometimes we think we know everything about something until we learn something new that makes us think differently.
What is NACFE working on now? Are you going to do another run on less?
Yeah, absolutely we are. We've announced what we're going to do in 2025. We're calling it Run on Less Messy Middle. And so we're combining the Run on Less work with this messy middle time of a lot of different truck solutions to help trucking become cleaner and greener. Next summer, we're going to be hosting a lot of technologies in the run. So it'll be improved aerodynamics and efficiency of diesel trucks, renewable diesel, biodiesel, which is where they make diesel from plants, Makenzie, and then natural gas, renewable natural gas. We'll also be looking at fast charging battery electric trucks, hydrogen fuel cell and hydrogen engines. And wow, that's a lot, right? I mean, there's a lot of different things we'll be working on. We're returning to the 2023 Run on Less Electric Depot sites and finding out from them how it's going with their electric trucks and improving them. You'll see us put out reports and videos, thought leadership papers, podcasts like this, and blogs. We're happy to do it, and we have a lot on our plate, Makenzie.
Yeah, you're right. You do have a lot of stuff you need to work on. Do you have a team helping you do all of it?
Yeah, so we have a great team, and it's really it's an expanded team too. So we have, let me explain that. We have people who work for NACFE. These are contractors that work for us. Some have worked for us for 10, 12 years. And so they are very committed and are the core NACFE team. And then we have an expanded team where we work closely with some people at RMI, the Old Rocky Mountain Institute. Then so they help us in our work, and we help them with some of their freight work. And then there's another sort of ring of the team, I'll call it, of people who work with us. And maybe the way to call it would be they provide in-kind contribution of resources. So they'll be active with us and help us. That's any kind of company in the industry, many nonprofits that are working here as well. And then I would say the rest is the proverbial, as they say in the South, all y'all. And so that's like everybody else that will listen to our phone calls, call us up, want to have meetings with us, and help inform us of what's going on out there. So the team is, can be looked at as small, but also through the work that we do, it's just ginormous. And I'm very appreciative and grateful of everybody that helps NACFE do our work.
You sometimes end your podcast asking people to give advice. So, what advice do you give the people who are listening?
We are in a transformation in trucking. I'm really proud of the trucking industry. It's always responded well to challenges, things like moving goods during the pandemic and getting, it may sound silly, but getting that toilet paper and food to the grocery stores when, really the world was shut down and everybody was worried about getting sick. So I'm proud of the trucking industry there. I'm proud of how the trucking industry handled the challenges of the pollutant emissions of NOx and particulate matter throughout the last couple decades. Advice I would have would be to just settle down, calm down, and look at each day as an opportunity to help us move through this transition. The work we do in trucking is incredibly important. I think laugh often, have fun with this, high five each other when something good happens. Be really excited about this work. This is cool work. It's not just important and hard. It's very cool. And then finally, celebrate the wins and stay focused around what we're doing, because it's not just getting those goods to the people, but it's also doing it in a way that's more sustainable, that will have this planet cool down and the air be easier to breathe.
Can I say something?
Sure.
That I just thought of while you're saying that?
Yep, go ahead.
Yesterday's history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift.
That's right. So let's go get this stuff done today, and we'll change the course and have a better tomorrow.
Thanks, Papa, for being on your podcast. I had a great time interviewing you.
Great job, Makenzie.
You might want to get ready for the 150th one, because my brother Mason might be interviewing Papa.
Oh, you want Mason to do the 150th one? All right, well, and we've also got Isabel and Jackson, so
yeah,
we may have to have all 4 grandchildren do it sometime.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Makenzie, for doing this. I really appreciate your help.
Yep, you're welcome.
Freight Efficiency with NACFE's Mike Roeth and Friends.